Hail Satan, and hail yourselves. I'm Chaplain Leopold, and this is the Life Satanic, a channel where I discuss Satanism and satanic philosophy, as well as giving you a satanic perspective on the world in general. If you have any questions about Satanism or Satanists, or maybe just about where to buy the very best satanic robes, then comment below. And while you're there, why not give the video a like and subscribe at the same time? Today, I'm going to be giving you some basic information about Satanism, such as where it came from, what our beliefs are, as well as answering some of the common questions I receive when I tell people that I'm a Satanist. Think of this as your satanic primer, or Satanism 101. It should give you enough info to get up to speed on modern day Satanism. I'll be going into detail on the different aspects of modern day Satanism in future videos, so make sure you click that bell icon so you don't miss any future satanic content. Before we go any further, I want to make it clear that I am not claiming to be the ultimate authority on Satanism. Satanism is practiced in many different ways by many different people, all of whom have their own ideas on what Satanism means to them. I'm going to try and be objective in this video when I talk about different satanic practices, but you'll quickly see how impossible it is for any one person to be able to speak for all Satanists. One of the very few things that all Satanists might be able to agree on is that Satanism is a religion of the self. As a Satanist, you are your own highest power. You are the ultimate authority on all matters of your own existence. You are your own God. Well, sorta. There is no person, deity, or institution that can prescribe morality to you. You refuse to defer moral judgments to an external authority, be that a religion, a church, government, society in general, or even another Satanist. You are responsible for your actions, and you take full ownership of your successes and your failings. There is no God you can appeal to or direct blame at. You are your own Godhead. Do you see now why no one can speak on behalf of every Satanist? Satanists reject the idea that morality is a codified set of rules dictated by the society you live in. A Satanist defines their own moral code based on their best understanding of the universe. And this code isn't fixed. It adapts as you learn and grow. This is not the same as being amoral. Far from it, in fact. Most religions want you to believe that morality stems from the omniscient teachings of a deity, and that humans would never be able to work out that murdering someone is a bad idea. Bullshit. All morality stems from human understanding. Gods don't exist. And so all the beliefs, practices, and flawed moral codes laid out in religious texts are merely other people trying to impose their morality on you. As a Satanist, you don't murder people because you've come to the conclusion that that's a bad thing to do. Not because Moses had to lug some stone tablets down a mountain. Equally, as a Satanist, I don't oppress the rights of women or demand that gay men be murdered, because that's obviously a bad thing to do. But both of those things are considered A-okay by the Bible. The main thing you need to take away from this bit, though, is that even though Satanism is a collective religion, every Satanist is actually practicing their own individual version of that religion. Incidentally, this is one of the reasons why that whole Illuminati-style global satanic cult conspiracy theory is complete and utter horseshit. Trying to get a group of Satanists to agree on anything is like trying to herd cats. Angry satanic cats. You got a group of people made up entirely of headstrong individualists, all of whom are defined by their own unique set of self-affirmed beliefs. You want to know what trying to orchestrate a secret, worldwide, global satanic shadow government would be like?
I call this meeting of the super-secret Legion of Evil to order.
Why do you think you have the authority to chair this meeting? Who are you to call me to order?
I'm actually against order as a concept and embrace chaos. Did you say secret or super secret. The word legion has military connotations, which clashes with my pacifist ideals.
Evil's an abstract concept invented to keep humanity bound by a set of restrictive, arbitrary rules. Candles! Get your satanic candles, 2 for £1. I think you get the idea. Now, the type of Satanism I practice is what's known as modern rational Satanism. That's a very broad and undefined term that's used to refer to a large collection of modern satanic practices. We'll get into the history and origins of modern rational Satanism in just a moment, but first I really want to focus on that second word, rational. Rational indicates that we are not believers in the supernatural, which most importantly means we do not believe in any god or gods, and we do not believe in Satan.
What? How can you be Satanists if you don't believe in Satan?
Excellent question, random YouTube viewer. In addition to being Satanists, we're also atheists. Our religion is non-theistic, meaning we do not have a deity or any other supernatural nonsense involved whatsoever. It's obvious to us that gods don't exist and magic is made up, but we do recognise the effect that belonging to a religion can have on an individual. From our perspective, all religions are merely a group of people coming together to unite under the banner of their favourite imaginary friend. If you can do it with the Abrahamic God, why not Satan? Being a part of a shared religion can have an incredibly positive effect on a person. Humans are social creatures after all. We seek out like-minded folks to hang out with and form bonds with. Historically, however, religions are almost always used as a force for evil, gathering people together and demanding obedience to a set of restrictive rules that seek to oppress those who don't conform to the arbitrary taboos laid out in their holy fan fiction of choice. Choice being a strong word there, because most religious adherents are indoctrinated into a religion from birth. Now, of course, you must abide by these set of restrictive rules, or else
your soul will be tortured for all eternity after you're dead.
That last bit is obviously not true. There's no afterlife after all. But in reality, you can and will face all manner of real-world consequences for refusing to abide by a religion's rules. These include being ostracized by your community or even disowned by your family. In some places, you can still lose your job or face being imprisoned, tortured and executed for refusing to follow the demands of a religion. We'll talk more about the evils of established religions in another video another time though. Like one video's gonna be enough for that topic. But back to modern rational Satanism. What if there was a religion that didn't have destructive prescriptive dogma? What if there was a religion that refused the notion of a deity outright? What if there was a religion based on rationality that bent itself to fit the needs of humans, rather than trying to bend humans to fit the needs of the religion? Enter modern rational Satanism. We draw our beliefs and inspiration from the fictional figure of Satan, as found in texts such as John Milton's Paradise Lost. Satan the rebel, Satan the liberator, Lucifer the light bringer, the one who frees humanity from the indentured servitude of a tyrant god. As a Satanist, you seek to embody what you see as the greatest attributes of the character known as Satan. We don't worship Satan because we know Satan doesn't exist. Instead, we use Satan as an idea to rally around, an ideal to strive towards, a focus for our intent, and a guide for our purpose in life. A satanic organisation, such as the one I belong to, the Global Order of Satan, lays out the teachings of Satan as we interpret them, and then invite free-thinking Satanists who agree with our vision to join us in a community of like-minded individuals. I'm not going to go in too deep about what exactly Satan means for us right now, as I'll be covering that in detail in future videos that focus on the intricacies of satanic philosophy. For this introduction to Satanism, it's enough for you to know that we don't believe in Satan, but Satan is the foundation for our beliefs. And yes, I said beliefs. My satanic beliefs are just as intrinsic to my sense of self and as deeply held as those of any religion that professes faith in a mythical sky being. And I want to stress again at this point that this is my branch of Satanism. As with any religion, there are different sects, groups, and orders of Satanism. There have been schisms, foundings, refoundings, second foundings, all the normal infighting and bickering that you'd find in any religion, basically. So, where did Satanism originate? Time for a very brief satanic history lesson. This is a very in-depth topic, and there's so much more to cover than I could possibly go into today, but this is Satanism 101, so here's the bare bones info you need. First things first, you know that trope you see in all the horror films of the evil, underground, satanic cult that's been secretly working against the church since the dawn of time, performing diabolical ceremonies to try and bring about the fall of humanity? Yeah, that almost certainly never existed in any way, shape, or form. In fact, in general, forget everything you might have learnt about Satanism from movies, apart from the robes. We do like robes. One of the earliest known instances of someone being described as being in league with the devil is from when the Christian church separated into Protestant and Catholic factions, with both sides accusing the other of being the Satanists. Now, I'm no historian, but I imagine it went something like this.
The Pope has just released a papal missive on why you, Protestant, are the devil-worshipping Christ-defiler.
Well, I am gonna nail up a thesis in German on the 95 ways your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Historical accuracy is a hobby of mine. But back to the topic at hand. The practice of labeling people who have nothing to do with Satanism as Satanists persists to this day. 9 times out of 10, if someone gets called a Satanist, they definitely aren't. They just have a different opinion to the person who branded them a Satanist. Religious leaders, conspiracy theorists, and politicians alike all use the term Satanist as an easy way to tarnish the reputation of anyone that disagrees with them. After all, anyone who doesn't think like them must be in league with the devil, right? It's the cheapest of cheap shots to literally try and demonize anyone who disagrees with you. Don't like women demanding equal rights?
They're concubines of Lucifer.
Don't want a progressive politician taking votes away from you?
Satan was the first to demand equal rights.
Don't want to accept gay and trans folks?
All sodomites will burn in the fires of hell.
Also, as a quick aside, I recently found out that the word sodomite and the idea of sodomy in general does not mean what we've been led to believe it means, and we are definitely doing a full video on sodomy at some point. That's a satanic guarantee.
Sodomy, a satanic guarantee.
Back on topic, the point is though that before the 20th century there wasn't much evidence for anything that could be considered a codified satanic community. There are a few potential exceptions and I'll be discussing those another time in their own videos. But for now, let's jump forward to the 1960s. Okay, so in 1969, a dude named Anton LaVey released a book called The Satanic Bible. In it, he codified his philosophical ideas for a religion he'd supposedly founded 3 years earlier and named the Church of Satan. The book was certainly provocative and surely caused much gasping and clutching of pearls in certain sections of society at the time, whilst simultaneously tantalizing others. There's a lot more to it than that, obviously, but this is just a brief intro. It's fair to say that LaVey is a divisive figure in the world of Satanism. To some, he's an inspirational religious leader, the OG High Priest of Satanism, the final authority on all satanic matters. To others, dude's a fucking asshole. Some people might even say he was a snake oil salesman, a showman, a huckster, a charlatan. It's important to know that whatever you think of LaVey, he wasn't writing with the sole intention of inspiring keen satanic minds everywhere. There's a lot I could say about LaVey. So I'm gonna. But first, it's really important for you to understand that to be a Satanist, you do not have to follow what's written in the Satanic Bible. My branch of Satanism doesn't use it at all. I know I said I was going to try and be objective in this video, but I can't talk about LaVey without some major disclaimers first. I'm not a fan of LaVey. His writing might have been seen as progressive for its time, and I do mean might. From a modern progressive satanic viewpoint, a lot of what LaVey wrote about is, how can I put this politely? I can't. Complete and utter bullshit. There's a lot of misogyny, enforcement of patriarchal ideals, ideology influenced heavily by Ayn Rand, queer stereotyping, obvious pandering to a white middle-class audience. I could go on, but I think you get the point. I'm sure I'll get round to doing a full teardown of the Satanic Bible and LaVey in a future video, but that's gonna be a wild ride. For now, what you need to know is that amongst all the snake oil that, in my opinion, he was peddling, he also happened to lay the groundwork for a new religious outlook. Satanism as a non-theistic religion. You could be your own godhead. It's really this key concept, along with taking Satanism from a mythical fallacy and for the first time codifying it into an above-ground religious order, that we remember Anton LaVey and his Church of Satan. Yes, the Church of Satan still exists and still has its adherents, some of whom will no doubt be writing furious messages in the comments section as we speak. But in reality, the Church of Satan these days is little more than a P.O. box in Poughkeepsie and a Twitter account. A damn hilarious Twitter account at times, don't get me wrong, but their influence on the wider satanic stage has long since waned. Sure, there are still hardcore Church of Satan style Satanists about, but most of the modern Satanists I know look at the Church of Satan as a sad reminder of the Satanism of the past. If it wasn't apparent already, I am definitely biased when it comes to talking about the Church of Satan, so if you want to learn more about them, I'd recommend you go and look elsewhere. Oh, and one final thing. Contrary to what you may have heard, LaVey did not invent the inverted pentagram, or even this design for it, which he referred to as the Sigil of Baphomet. LaVey adapted it for use as a satanic symbol from drawings he'd found in earlier works, and it's one of the few things LaVey did that I actually like. I'm a huge fan of an inverted pentagram. What can I say? Now that I've thoroughly pissed off the Church of Satan, here's some other more modern satanic organizations you may have heard of. For the record, you don't have to be a member of any satanic organization to consider yourself a Satanist. Remember, Satanism is a religion of the self, so you're still a Satanist even if you're just going about your daily life living your own satanic creed. For your education though, here are some modern satanic organizations. So, top of my list is obviously going to be the satanic organization that I belong to, which is the Global Order of Satan. We're a relatively new satanic organization, having been set up when we separated from the Satanic Temple a few years back. I don't want to get into a mudslinging contest about why we separated from TST. Let's just say we were unhappy with the direction the organization seemed to be taking, and we felt that we could provide a better satanic ministry for Satanists globally by striking out on our own. Hence why we became the Global Order of Satan. We strive to encompass the needs and concerns of Satanists around the world, and don't restrict our focus to one country or location. Whilst we started out here in the UK, we've since established chapters in Europe, Asia, and the Americas, and where possible we work with other like-minded satanic organisations to promote our shared satanic values. In addition to the Global Order of Satan, you've probably heard about the Satanic Temple, who've been at the forefront of the modern satanic revival in the 21st century. They've become famous for the many ways they use their status as a religion to litigate against the encroachment of Christianity into the laws of the United States. There are many other modern satanic organizations as well, such as Satanic Bay Area, who operate out of San Francisco, and Satanic Australia, who operate in, you guessed it, Australia. And then there are individuals who are separate from any organization, who are doing great work in the name of Satan. I'm not going to make an exhaustive list of every satanic organization right now, but there is an online directory for satanic organizations and groups called satanicresources.org. And and I'll put a link to their website in the description, along with links to my organisation should you wish to find out more about us. A collective feature of most of the organisations I've mentioned is that we see ourselves as a modern satanic presence. I can't speak on behalf of any other satanic sect or individual, of course, but there are definitely many shared beliefs between our various factions. A common factor between us is the belief in bodily autonomy. That's the concept that every person's body is their own to do with as they see fit, and no person or institution has the right to place demands on or restrict an individual's choices concerning their own body. We hold reason, rationality, and scientific progress in the highest regard, and strive to ensure our understanding of the world is informed by logic and never by superstition. We actively fight for justice and use our satanic beliefs to stand against tyranny and oppression wherever we see it. For myself and my fellow Satanists in the Global Order of Satan, we've compounded our satanic beliefs into 6 guiding principles, which we refer to as our 6 pillars. I'll be talking about each one in detail in future videos, but overall, our beliefs stem from using the idea of Satan to inspire us to do good in the world. As one of our founders, Zeke, is fond of saying, if people and governments and leaders can do horrible things in the name of God, then we can most certainly do beautiful and inspired things in the name of Satan. Being a Satanist to me means being the ones who challenge tyrannical authority, just as Satan did. Satan was the one who stood up to the tyrant God and refused to kneel before an unjust authority. We strive to continue that same spirit in our own way in the world we find ourselves in today. We do this through offering a satanic perspective on moral issues, through activism such as protesting, letter writing, engagements via social media, and through using our status as a religion to demand the same preferential treatment that other religions receive, in the hope of highlighting the many insidious ways that religious groups hold sway over laws and institutions. I'll go into greater detail about the more specific aspect of our philosophies and outreach work in later videos. Believe me, there's a lot to cover, and I'm excited to share with you the great work we do in the name of Satan. Now, here are some common questions or reactions that you tend to receive when people find out you're a Satanist. Number 1. You're a Satanist? Doesn't that mean you sacrifice babies and kill people? No. No, we don't. Not ever. So, firstly, murdering people under the guise of sacrifice is a horrific concept and completely repugnant to Satanists. Apart from the obvious moral reasons for not killing people, it would also be completely illogical for us as rational Satanists to perform any kind of sacrifice whatsoever. As I think I've made clear in this video, we do not believe in the supernatural. We base all our beliefs on reason and logic. Committing any kind of sacrifice would have no logical outcome whatsoever, so why would we do it? But more importantly, for us, every individual's body belongs to them. No one has the right to impose upon another individual's choices as to what they do with their own flesh. So the idea of us murdering another human is completely repugnant to us. So you just sacrifice animals then? No. Not even one goat? Just once? No! Again, the idea of sacrificing an animal is repugnant to us. It has no rational reason, and we have no desire to commit animal cruelty. There's actually quite a few vegan Satanists. Question number 2. Do you worship the devil? Are you trying to summon Satan? I think we've covered this already, but as I've stated, we do not worship Satan. We don't believe in Satan, so there is no point in us committing any acts of worship. We see ourselves as our own personal personification of Satan, so there's no one to worship but yourself. Self-worship is where it's at. And no, we aren't trying to summon Satan or make pacts with the devil or any other of that magic spell nonsense. Keep it rational, folks. Question 3. Aren't you just edgy atheists who like dressing up in robes? Huh. Well, I do enjoy a good robe. This is a fair question. I can totally see how on the surface it can look like we're just atheists who like to dress in black and hang out in graveyards. But I'd hope that over the course of this video I've demonstrated just how seriously I take my satanic beliefs. And remember, the information that we've covered in this video is only scratching the surface of the huge depths of satanic philosophy and intricacies of a satanic life. My position of chaplain is not a joke or an arbitrary title. I have a role to fulfill in our organisation. I practice my religion with a wonderful cohort of dedicated Satanists who work tirelessly to bring our satanic religious order to life. We have a beautiful community of Satanists who look to each other for support and guidance. Our religion is very different from the trappings of a traditional religion, but that doesn't mean we're any less dedicated in our beliefs. But also, I really do love robes. Question 4. Do you perform satanic rituals? Yes! Yes, we do. But they probably aren't what you're imagining. I'm going to be doing a full video on satanic rituals very soon, so I won't go into too much detail now, but yes, we do conduct satanic rituals. They come in lots of different forms, so there's no one-size-fits-all satanic ritual. If you're interested, I've just performed a small solo ritual on my other channel, Satanic ASMR, which I'll leave a link to in the description. Satanic ASMR is literally the same information I'm giving you here, just presented in an ASMR soft-spoken format. So if you enjoy the idea of a silver-tongued Satanist whispering sweet satanic abominations in your ear, then head over there. Well, that's it for today, folks. I hope you've learned a little bit about the wonderful world of modern rational Satanism. As I say, this is just the bare basics when it comes to Satanism, though. There's so much more to who we are and what we do. If you do have any questions, please drop a comment down below and hit that subscribe button as well. I can't wait to release more videos like this going into the different aspects of Satanism, so if there's anything you want to learn about in particular, let me know. You'll find all the links I mentioned in this video down in the description, along with links to all my socials. Go now with the light of Lucifer, and may you bring hell to earth. Hail Satan, and hail yourselves.
Are the devil-worshipping Christ defiler. If anyone's wondering, devil-worshipping Christ defiler is my sexuality.